Oh, thanks, Trinita. I got it. I'll send you the website where I ordered it. It's a lady that is teal hippo. Teal hippo. Yeah, like the color teal. I get all my Alexa stuff I get from her. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get going. Hey, Lakeisha, Sharita, Angie, Ursula. Good evening, everyone. My name is Robin Sullivan, and I'm a very blessed Diamond Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. And tonight we are coming to you with our Stories of Hope call. If you've been invited to this call and you're a guest, or if you could possibly be listening to this recording at a later time, we always love to share the incredible testimonies from our personal team. And so without further ado, I want to introduce to you one of our first ambassadors who's going to be sharing her story of hope, and that is Yolanda Sanders. Yolanda, go ahead and take it away, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you. First, want to thank Robin for asking me. I felt honored for her asking me, and I'm so excited to share with you my story. And I wouldn't have a story if it wasn't for Deidre Cater, and who is my upline, and also Ebony Gator. My name is Yolanda Sanders, and let me give you a little bit of history. Several years ago, my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer. By the time that it was found, we was told she had 6 months. So what you do during that time, and I'm speaking from experience, you make every second count, every conversation. I didn't get all the recipes, but just everything that I could just glean from her, being in her presence, hearing her stories over and over again. It was a feeling that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I would visit with her in Georgia, go back every other weekend to help my brothers take care of her. So I would go to the doctor's office and listen to how the treatment was going. She couldn't do chemotherapy because she had heart disease and several other ailments that would have caused her to go earlier. So we just did the radiation, and I'm seeing how she's being treated at the doctor's office. Even though she was diagnosed and they said 6 months, my mother took a medical book with her to the doctor's office. And so for those that know me or know my mom, she doesn't take wooden nickels. That's old school. So you're not just going to say it's going to be this and I'm going to be okay with it. We're going to sit and do the research to see what ailments additionally is going to happen to me for you prescribing me this medication. And so even going into the treatment, as much as she could, she still did the same thing. Even talking with the doctors, they're saying one thing, she's still having that conversation with the doctors. Well, how is it going to affect me negatively this way? This is what I think we should do. So she was in the conversations with the doctors, or even with the, when they was trying to change her diet. So fast forward, my mother has since, so during some of those conversations, she would stress to me the importance of taking ownership. And I want you, Yolanda, to make better decisions. Don't do something now and then ask for forgiveness later. Yes, we serve a God that heals and delivers, but if you know right, do right up front when it's presented to you. So I fast forward, she's passed away. I'm visiting my doctor, and my doctor says to me, well, your A1C is high, and I'm going to prescribe you this medication. I said, well, we need to talk about this because that's not part of my regimen. Now I'm already taking the blood pressure medication. I said okay to that, but as far as taking any medication to lower my A1C, I'm putting a stop to that. We need to talk about this. So she says, well, you don't meet any of the criteria. You know, for some, you know, it could just be hereditary. And I said, I do understand that. I said, but I'm not willing to say yes to this. I have an option. I have a friend who is on this, I believe they call it plexus. I didn't know a lot about it then. I knew enough to say it was plexus. And I knew one day she was walking with a walker with wheels, then she was walking with a cane, and then she was walking regular. So I do know it has something to do with gut health. I'm going to take this product for 3 months. You give me 3 months. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to adjust my diet. I'm going to take my supplements. And when I come back to you, we're going to do another test for the A1C. If my numbers are the same or they're lower, all bets are off. However, if the test comes back and my A1C is high, you can write the prescriptions till the cow comes home. So she agreed with me on that. I contacted Deidre and I told Deidre I want to sign up. And so I signed up with Plexus and I started with the triplex. Now, mind you, I signed up with the triplex just for one thing, and that was to lower my A1C. So I was taking my regimens, having conversations with Deidre, went back to the doctor within 3 months and did the blood test. And so, you have to wait for the results to come in. But I told my doctor, I don't want a letter in the mail. I want you to call me. So let's schedule an appointment, and I want you to call me so I can hear you say, Yolanda, your test results have come in and your A1C is lowered. And I'm going to rescind on prescribing you the whatever medication she wrote up. And so the 3 months came, I went to the doctor. I did get a call from the nurse to schedule the consultation over the phone as I asked. And she gave me kudos and said she was very proud. She's not used to someone coming in the office and kind of talking, and taking ownership of, knowing what you've done wrong, but what you're willing to do to make it right. She did tell me that she had heard of Plexus and to keep doing what I'm doing. And so I was really excited about that. And so when that happened, now doing the triplex, starting with that, I lost 7 pounds. Not that I think I was gonna, lose weight, but that was okay too. Some people think because you're small, oh, you don't need to lose any more weight, but you could still be small and be unhealthy on the inside. It's not how we look on the outside, it's what's going on the inside. And so I had lost 7 pounds. The people that see me, I do have bald spots, but you can't tell. I contribute that to doing the triplex along with the collagen. Insomnia, I used to have trouble sleeping. Now, remember, I said I was only doing the triplex to do the A1C. So I didn't have energy because I was anemic, and now I have energy. I was getting age spots. I don't have age spots anymore. And so I am just excited that I made the decision for me. I remember the conversation having with my mother and saying, put yourself first. Make the decision for you. And so I chose me. When I said yes to Plexus, I was saying yes to myself and honoring my mom. I was taking ownership for, how I was not eating healthy before. I was not taking care of myself before. I owned up to it and said, well, as today, this day I'm going to change. I'm going to change my mindset. So I had to make the change internally. Was it a struggle? Yes. But I was willing to go through what I needed to go through so I wouldn't have to do the prescription, because in my mind, I was thinking, okay, they're going to want to give me a pill to lower my A1C. And then later on, they might want me to take insulin. And I was not willing to take that chance. And so I said yes to my life. I said yes to lowering my A1C. I said yes to being careful what I put in my mouth so that I can remain healthy. Those conversations with my mom will stay with me every day. I think about those conversations every day. And as I take my pink drink, or, do my bio cleanse or my ProBio 5, or my X Factor. I'm all in for Plexus. And so I
Wow.
share with my family and I share with my friends. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your testimony, Yolanda. It was incredibly powerful. Um, Honestly, because I resonated with a lot of it because I lost my father at the age of 29. He was only 63. And he too was like a catalyst to me making a decision to turn my own personal health around. And so I just appreciate you for sharing. I do want to ask you a clarifying question, though, for anybody who is listening to this call and they know someone who struggles with their A1C or anyone who is really trying to get off of their medication that treats diabetes. What slim were you taking?
The
And or are you
microbiome.
taking the microbiome?
Yes.
Okay, so you're taking microbiome activating slim. Do you do 1 or 2 slim a day?
I do one.
You do 1 and you always did 1 from the beginning, those first 3
Yes.
months? Okay.
Yes.
And what's your, regimen with your BioCleanse and ProBio 5? Like, how many are you taking every day?
My BioCleanse, I take two, and my ProBio 5, I take two at night.
Wow. So just 2 and 2.
Yes.
Amazing. You've
Yes.
had so many incredible wins, and so I just wanna congratulate you and thank you for sharing your powerful testimony with us.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is awesome Senior Gold Ambassador Tracy Moss from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to let you go ahead and unmute yourself, my dear, and take it away.
Hi, everybody. Again, I'm Tracy Moss. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm fairly new to the Plexus community. I started taking Plexus in at the beginning of September, so I guess it's what, almost 8 months now. Um, and I am lovingly called by my team the accidental ambassador. So I will get into that, but I will first tell you what brought me to Plexus. A friend of mine, Krista Owens, introduced me to Plexus when we were in quarantine. And of course, during quarantine, you cannot deny anyone your attention because they know you're not doing anything else. So I agreed to listen to her presentation, and it spoke about all I heard was probiotics. Um, and I knew that I had some probiotics, and I'll tell you why later, but I had some probiotics. They weren't Plexus. And I told her, well, Krista, you know what? My salon is shut down. I don't need to add to any expenses in my home right now. So I love the information. I'm going to take what I have, and then we'll reevaluate once I finish. Well, I never took what I had because I hadn't taken it in the past 2 years. So why would I start? And life went on. Salon opened back up. I've been a salon owner, operator for over 30 years. I've been in the beauty business. I have my master's, an MBA in marketing, and so I love all things business. I love all things leadership. And so that falls right in with Plexus, right? So anyway, salon opens back up, life gets back to normal. My husband's going back into his teaching profession, back in the classroom. And we decided, once we saw Krista's post a year later of her before and during pictures, that we needed to call Krista back because we lost weight during the pandemic. We were walking outside all the time, no less than 4 miles, because we needed the fresh air, we needed the natural serotonin, all of that. And once life started again, we started our old habits. Fast food, running through the drive-through, doing this, getting busy and all of that. So we called Krista. She signed us up immediately and we started taking it. And we have been very consistent the whole time. Well, initially, obviously, I had a lot of inflammation, and that's what I thought that I had anyway. The puffiness, I swore that was inflammation. It was not fat, it was inflammation. So I started taking the triplex, and of course, inflammation immediately went down, and clients started asking me, what are you doing? You're losing all this weight. I had not lost 1 pound. And I said, no, I haven't lost anything. Nothing's happening, and we're behind masks. So I'm wondering, how can they realize any changes in me, but they could see it. They saw it in my clothes, they saw it in my cheekbones and all of this. So I said, well, I don't know much about it, but I'll let Krista know. You can ask her. And so Krista said, let's get a call together. I agreed. This was after week 2, I believe. And so I agreed. We were going to do it Saturday morning. Friday night, I get home from the salon about 10 o'clock. And I was like, oh my God, I have not invited anyone to this call. And Krista has dedicated her time. And that's one thing I do not like to do, is waste people's time. So I immediately reached out to 6 people. 6 people joined our call the next day. Out of the 6 people, 4 people immediately signed up. And then it started right from there. And it just has not stopped. I love sharing with people. I am the accidental ambassador because I had no intentions of participating in the sharing in any kind of way, because I was just here to work on myself. So what you cannot do is stop people from noticing the progress you make. People are watching you all the time, and they see what you're doing. They may not comment, they may not give you accolades, but they're watching you. And so because of that, people are initially, they'll come in and they'll tell me, I'm still watching you. And I'm like, okay, I'm here, whenever you're ready. So this has actually been a blessing because I have made a lot of money. You all know how much you pay hairstylists to do your hair. I've made a lot of money. I made a lot of money quickly, although I have not built wealth. And that's totally different. When I look at what I make as a senior gold ambassador right now, I could look at it and say, well, I only work 3 days in the salon. If I added another day, I could make more than what I'm making right now. But that's not the point, because I'm building wealth. I'm building a business out of a product. And that's very different from having a business that is in service. So I looked at this as more of a business as it went on. I mean, my team, Krista, Renee, Marquita, even Robin, they were so excited for me. They called me. I'm like, okay, I'll talk on the phone or whatever. And I didn't really understand the fast start thing. I didn't understand what was happening. I was just like, okay, because I really felt I was helping my clients. That's what I do. I help beautify people. I help people feel good about themselves. And of course, our conversations are always centered around our weight, our health, our weight. And I can't tell you how many times people look in the mirror and they say, oh my God, girl, put this cape on me, my belly. And so there's the conversation. Here we go. We're talking about plexus now. So I just enjoy sharing it. But as looking at it from a business standpoint, and having been an entrepreneur since I graduated from graduate school, plexus as a business is unlike others because, yes, it is a multi-level, well, I'm old enough to call it multi-level marketing, a network marketing, a direct sales company. It is that. However, it's very different because it doesn't really require any investment other than you investing in yourself. And when you start on your products, you're investing in yourself, which in essence is investing in your business. So you're not required to make this major outlay. You're not required to purchase all this inventory or equipment, no starter packs, nothing. Just get healthy yourself. And when you get healthy, you'll be able to share that blessing with other people. So in terms of being in business, you really cannot beat this. If you are consistent with yourself, consistent with taking your products, you will attract the customers that want to share and want to be healthy with you. So my initial was to just lose the inflammation, but I also gained energy. I lost about 15 pounds over this time. I gained a better sleep. I was sleeping. I've always been able to use the bathroom, and I've always been able to sleep. And that's what a lot of people talk about plexus for. But the waist is very different. I feel cleaner. I can tell if I missed a night, and I've probably only missed 2 nights, and I could tell. but my sleep is very different. I'm not just sleeping because I'm exhausted. I'm sleeping because I'm resting, which allows me to get up and get moving. My energy is better. I don't feel like I want to take that 3 o'clock nap that I've felt all my life. Um, and the stress, the way I handle stress, the way I handle anxiety is very different now. I don't feel it in my body. I can just deal with it in my brain. So I am winning. I am also, as someone who stood on their feet for 30 plus years, the restless leg syndrome is real. On Friday night, it's real. But I haven't felt that in months, in months. So I'm winning all the way. I just look forward to what's next. I look forward to building this wealth. And I'm excited to work towards the next level. Thank you,
Oh,
Robin, for inviting me.
oh my goodness, Tracy, what an amazing story. So I find it super interesting. You're literally the only person in America who lost weight during COVID, during quarantine. Like you were like, we were doing all, I'm like, oh no, that's the opposite of what everybody else was doing. So that was super interesting. Fun fact that
Well, let me
when you
tell you
guys got
why.
back into your routine, what'd you say?
Let me tell you why we lost weight. There's a backstory. We have 4 children. 3 of them are in their 20s. 2 of them were in our home. The last one is 10. So the 10-year-old, myself and my husband, we were running away from the young adults.
That is hilarious. Hilarious. I'm like, y'all go back to normal life and then y'all gain the weight. The
Exactly.
absolute polar opposite of everybody else who was on
Yep.
lockdown. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, I also really appreciate the fact that you have, because you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you very quickly started to see what this opportunity is and what also it can be and how it is very different from you being a traditional business owner owning a salon for 30 years. And so I think that is so incredibly important for people to kind of grasp that in the very beginning of doing a business like this, because you are not only just creating more margin in your budget, but you have the potential to literally create generational wealth. And I will say, y'all know it's the 14th. Taxes are due tomorrow. My husband is a CPA, so he did our taxes. And I paid probably $15,000 more than what I used to make in an entire year as an assistant principal. And so a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to pay that many taxes. It's like, well, no, that just goes to show you how much you actually can make in a business like this when you're paying Uncle Sam way more than what you got paid in an entire year as a salaried employee. And so I just encourage you guys, if you know anybody, including yourself, who could benefit from these health supplements, maybe you take the supplements, but maybe you don't take them as consistently as you should. Maybe you don't partner with your sponsor enough to know how you need to tweak your regimen to really get the results that you're looking for. Do those things. If you're listening to this call or watching the playback later and you've thought about this opportunity, I just really want you to ask yourself, what if this could change everything? This is something I asked a group of leaders this past weekend at a training. I just simply wanted to know, what if this could change everything for you? It was literally one of our taglines in Plexus 7, 8 years ago. It came in my welcome pack and it was plastered on this box. And I remembered asking myself that particular question as a very stressed out assistant principal of a high need school at the time, 8 years ago. That was my career. And I just really wondered, what if my life could look different? There's so many people that are successful, right? Like Yolanda and Tracy and myself. We have great lives. We had great lives before Plexus, but there are a lot of people who are still wanting more, knowing that they can do more, be more, and give more. So I just encourage you to take a look at this opportunity and these products if you are just listening to this and wondering what if. So thank you guys so much, Yolanda and Tracy. Your testimonies were absolutely amazing. I appreciate you guys so much. And I know that your stories will bless so many people watching now and later with the recording. So you guys have a great rest of your night. Y'all have a great resurrection weekend, and I'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thank y'all so
Good
much.
night, ladies. Good
Good
night.
night.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.